Hello, good afternoon to you and welcome to midweek's edition of News at 1 is live on your most authoritative news network, Metro Television. My name is Ignatius and let's update you with the major stories that we will be watching this afternoon. RICS Consult Limited congratulates Metropolitan Entertainment Television for excellence in broadcasting and a great corporate relationship ahead of the company's 15th anniversary celebrations.
Call the various exploits that we've done together within the last 15 years. And we thought to cement that and also to lay some groundwork for the future.
Contractors working on the Job 600 project assure members of parliament that their offices will be ready for use by August this year. In business, experts bemoan the current level of intra-Africa trade, which they say is likely to build a strong business ties between African countries.
African countries have to work together to increase inter-African trade and boost indigenous entrepreneurs and businesses.
From the region's butchers in Bogatanga say their 50-year-old abattoir can no longer serve their needs and are appealing for a new one to enhance healthy living.
During the period that this abattoir was built, the butchers were not many, but now there are many.
And on the international front, US and Afghan officials are on the verge of signing a new deal on the future of the long-term relations between the two countries. The details will follow shortly. Please stay with me. Right, so if you are in Ho and its environs, we say that you're very warmly welcome to the Metro Television family. We are promising you exciting entertainment, insightful and in-depth news reportage, and of course the latest from the world of sports. In our very first story, ahead of the 15th anniversary celebrations of Metropolitan Entertainment Television, some organizations have started congratulating Metro TV for its broadcasting excellence and contribution to the development of Ghana's media industry. Now, RICS Consult Limited is one of the earliest companies to congratulate and show appreciation to the network for its excellent corporate relationship.
A four-member delegation made up of the CEO, General Manager, Public Relations Officer, and Head of Sports Business from RICS Consult Limited were present at the residence of the CEO of Metro TV, Talal Fatah, to congratulate him for his exemplary contributions towards the media landscape in Ghana. CEO of RICS Consult, Rex Dankwa, said the call is also to cement their relationship with Metro TV.
The various exploits that we've done together within the last 15 years. And we thought to cement that and also to lay some groundwork for the future. We should visit you and then first congratulate you and then do a presentation in commemoration of the visit and then the 15th years that you've spent and actually blaze the trail for private TV network, especially the strengths that you had in the areas of innovation, in sports.
Talal Fatah, the man who has captained the Metro TV team to excellence for the past 15 years and also the CEO of the network, was very appreciative of the gesture.
We are trailblazers in television industry from perspective of sports, entertainment, or even business. Cannot be mentioned without the contribution of RICS Consult. For all the years, in fact, we have followed your trailblazing. Let me extend my gratefulness, not just to RICS Consult, but to all the companies who all over through the years have made us what we are today.
The General Manager of RICS Consult, Nanajwa Dankwa, made a presentation of a plaque to Metro TV on behalf of the delegation.
In commemoration of your 15 years of broadcasting excellence and your exemplary contributions to the growth and development of Ghana's media industry, as well as towards shaping our TV sports landscape, and also in celebration of the 15 fruitful years of mutually beneficial relationship between Metro TV and RICS Consult Limited in fulfillment of our joint dreams. Congratulations.
While RICS Consult urged other organizations to come and show solidarity for the 15th anniversary celebrations, Tala Fatah also used the opportunity to thank organizations who have supported his outfit in diverse ways for the past 15 years. The official launch of Metro TV's 15th anniversary celebration is on Thursday, the 5th of April, 2012. Nana Kunedu of Ibrobich report for Metro News.
All right, so I guess you know now that the official launch indeed is on Thursday, the 5th of April 2012, just 24 hours away. And we say that congratulations to all staff and management of Metro Television. We are promising you, as I said, exciting new programs, including entertainment, and the news team is more than eager to serve you with the latest update that you need to know in Ghana and across the world as well, and the latest from the world of sports. In other stories, a fire outbreak on Monday night razed down a two-story building at Adabraka, a suburb of Accra, resulting in the loss of property worth thousands of Ghana cedis.
According to eyewitnesses, the cause of the fire was yet to be established, even though some of the residents attributed it to a lit mosquito coil in a leaking cylinder in one of the rooms. Reports have it that the fire is said to have started around 10:30 p.m. and lasted for nearly 2 hours before fire service personnel came to the rescue of the inhabitants. No casualty was recorded due to the quick evacuation of residents to safer grounds. Abdullah Mohammed's report for Metro News, Accra.
And still in Accra, a simulation exercise jointly organized by the police and the fire service at the Bank of Ghana nearly caused confusion as bystanders thought the central bank was on fire.
The simulation exercise, which took place around Bank of Ghana building, was organized by the police and the fire service to ascertain the readiness of the service personnel to combat emergency situations at the bank. However, the exercise created panic among the residents at the Central Business Center, as most of them were not aware of the exercise. Metro TV, however, gathered that the exercise was just a simulation workout aimed at testing the readiness of the security agencies in confronting emergency situations. Officials of the fire service and the bank, however, refused to comment formally on the exercise.
In other stories, sand winners at Elmina in the Commander Edina Iguafo Abrim, the KEA municipality of the Central Region, have created their own path around the huge rocks that the national security placed on the road to stop their activity. This has further caused massive degradation along the Elmina beach. A report by Cornelius Nate. Metro News recently reported the improvement of the beach fronts of Elmina after the halt of the illegal sand winning by the national security. Operators of this illegal activity have however taken the law into their own hands and created alternative routes to the beach front to continue their acts. The most affected property owners spoke to Metro News.
About 10 yards out, you can see that there's a very deep area. Therefore, what seems to be happening now is there's a much heavier body of water at high tide which is able to hit the land. So the sand there seems to have been severely depleted.
The sand winners, they come every day. And it's not just one truck, several trucks a day. The municipal assembly knows it. The police people, they know it. And yet somehow, it goes on every day.
Central Regional Minister Ama Benyiwado has therefore tasked the KEEA to be vigilant in order to halt the illegal sand winning at the beach front.
It's important for all of us to educate the people who live in such communities to see the harm being done to the environment, since they are the first line people who will suffer any catastrophe if it comes. And I think the assemblies indeed will have to be assisted to be able to stem up their task forces. And I know they have some, but it doesn't look like they go every day.
The situation we see right here shows the speed at which degradation is taking place here at the beachfront of Elmina. If authorities keep glued to their seats comfortably with no concern, there is going to be a massive degradation here at our coastal belts.
This is Cornelius Natis' report for Metro News. For sale on the environment, Hans Sedal Foundation and environmental organization has embarked on a project dubbed Improving the Management of Ghana's Coast by engaging and empowering the youth. The project will task the youth to sanitize their communities on the need to adopt good environmental practices.
Improving the management of Ghana's coast by engaging and empowering the youth project is to sensitize communities on poor environmental activities like erosion, sand winning, poor sanitation and overexploitation of the forest. The project aims at providing a tool which supports the youth in the Anglo-Ewem coastal migrant communities to enable them access knowledge and skills while adapting to the changing physical environment.
We aim to increase the coastal communities' awareness of the condition of the environment and also to increase their collective responsibility to managing their coastal environment. Then it is very important that they develop a sense of ownership over the coastal natural resources. It is only when this sense of ownership is developed that they will be motivated to put in more time and resources to conserve them.
Professor Chris Gordon is an environmentalist at the University of Ghana, Legon.
Because we have failed so many times in the past, that we tried in this project to use a more innovative, a more strategic approach. That approach is known as Catch Them Young. We are targeting the youth. And by targeting the youth, we hope that we'll be able to at least inculcate some good practices in the minds of these young people who, when they grow, will be able to take or assist in decision making.
Hans Sedal Foundation sponsors the project.
We have been trying to identify some areas where we would be able to get directly to the people, not only to educate, but also to get an impact on environmental aspects.
The organization believes children and the youth can serve as great motivators of attitudinal change, hence the target in this educational project expected to last for 3 years, by which time the youth would have impacted a lot in the communities they live. Hamdia Amadu Yakubu's report for Metro News.
Let's now move to Bolgatanga in the Upper East region, where butchers there are in dire need of an abattoir. They are saying that the only structure that serves this purpose is in a state of disrepair and no longer healthy to slaughter animals there. Butchers in the Bolgatanga municipality have been slaughtering their livestock in an old abattoir which was built in 1960. They claim the current state of the slaughterhouse does not befit the central point of meat processing in the region due to its unhygienic nature, emphasizing the danger posed to the consumers and even the butchers. Secretary of the Bolgatanga Butchers Association, Timothy Tembale, who categorically narrated the ordeal they are facing, pointed out some key concerns they have been battling with.
During the period that this abattoir was built, the butchers were not many. But now there are many. And there should have been some expansion of the abattoir. But as of now, we still use the old abattoir. Quite recently, the assembly have increased their fees. And increase of fees goes with development.
The Regional Chief Technical Officer of the Veterinary Services Department stressed on the importance of an abattoir to hygienic meat production. The Bolgatanga Municipal Chief Executive, however, reacted to the comments of the butchers and said the assembly can only refurbish the existing slaughterhouse.
Butchers have to, first of all, clean themselves, clean their environment, ensure that they slaughter the animals at the right places, and then if they can even package the meat, it will help them. It will invite more people. It will be appealing to the public. So I want to advise butchers, first of all, to take their personal hygiene very serious.
Tanko Abuse report from the Upper East region for Metro News. And still on health, directors of veterinary services from the ECOWAS countries have met in Ghana for a 4-day workshop to develop the regional strategy for surveillance of transboundary animal disease and zoonosis. The conference also aims at procedures for prevention and control of animals in order to produce healthy livestock in the ECOWAS regions.
The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has adopted an agriculture policy of providing quality foods to citizens, wealth creation and poverty reduction in the sub-region. To attain this policy objective in the livestock sector, the ECOWAS countries has seen the need to prevent and control transboundary animal diseases through a harmonized system of laboratory operations and episurveillance in line with the international best practices to reduce animal burden and improve productivity. In light of this, stakeholders are meeting to establish a coordinated system as a first step to achieving the production of quality livestock in the sub-region.
I wouldn't say progress has been hindered. Rather, we have been taking step by step. You see, these are issues that have subsisted for a while in the region. So you have to take an issue at a time, to get to where we are getting now.
At the end of the workshop, it is expected that a harmonized regional laboratory and a regional episurveillance system is adapted.
Diseases no barriers, so we have to meet once a while, share ideas, our experiences, and try to put our resources together to find a common goal in fighting animal disease. Because nowadays there are zoonotic diseases, that's diseases which move from animal to humans and vice versa.
The workshop includes experts from veterinary services, heads of national laboratories, experts from veterinary schools in the sub-region, and producers of livestock. Hamdia Amadi Yakubu's report for Metro News.
Now to road safety. The commander of the Motor Traffic and Transport Unit of the Ghana Police Service has assured that the percentage of accidents recorded during last year's Easter period will reduce. This follows the introduction of sophisticated twin vehicles on our roads. He was speaking at the validation of 35 drivers especially trained for road safety management in the country. Henry Senchkovich has the details.
After the formal commissioning of the heavy-duty towing trucks in February by the Vice President John Dramani Mahama, Road Safety Management Services Limited has developed more sophisticated means to help curtail the increase in road accidents in the country.
Lives that we are losing will be curtailed. I don't think that we should have the numbers of deaths that we counted during the last Easter. We should have that number this Easter, because now we are equipped and we do not have any reason to say that we cannot bring down the death toll on the highways.
ACP Andrea Wuni, who attributed the cause of many accidents on our roads to broken down vehicles, cautioned drivers to be prudent in their line of work.
A lot of the accidents that we were finding on the highways were due to these broken down vehicles that were left in the middle of the road. And therefore people were running into them. And what we observed was that there was no even signs. There were no warning signs that these vehicles were broken down. And therefore the birth of these tow truck services has come as a very big relief to me personally, to the MTTU and to the National Road Safety Commission.
The chairman of the National Road Safety Commission, John Wolapia, emphasized that efforts are being made to curb road accidents.
Make sure that the knowledge you acquired over here, you pass on to training your colleagues, so that the investment in the vehicles and you people, road safety management will benefit and the whole country. Go back to the institution, be a role model for other people. And that the private sector involvement in road safety management through National Road Commission and MTTU will see real partnership working.
The 35 trained personnel promised to work judiciously to attain the goals of the MTTU. Henry Senkovich report for Metro News, Accra.
In case you just joined us, this is News at 1. It is coming to you live from your most authoritative news network, Metro Television. When we come back, we'll take you to the commercial court to find out happenings between Woyomi versus the state. We'll be right back.
In the next episode of Airtel Touching Lives, the team travels to the village of Abuadi in the Volta region to visit a kindergarten in dire need of support. Watch Airtel Touching Lives Saturdays at 6:30 p.m. on Metro TV.
If a woman has chlamydia and she's pregnant, chances are the baby can be born blind.
You know, when I started doing rap, something in her makes you want to stop and stare. Her love is magic. She's so. I mean, this is about 15 years ago.
I have to say a very big thank you to Metro TV.
Vodafone, power to you.
Hello again and you're welcome to Metro Television. This is News at 1. Defense lawyer for Alfred Agbeshiwoyemi, Robert Robertson Kpacha, has told the commercial court that they've appealed against the ruling of the court that granted the Attorney General the right to amend its statement of claims last month. The case has been adjourned to the 24th of April for the defense team to inform the court on the progress of the appeal.
Defense lawyer for the embattled businessman Alfred Agbeshiwoyemi on Tuesday at the Commercial High Court in his submissions told the court that he had filed an appeal at the Court of Appeal against the ruling of the court that granted the Attorney General leave of filing its amended statement of claim. Robertson Kpacha also said they have filed a motion on notice of stay of proceedings pending appeal. The Attorney General, represented by Dorothy Afriyansa, said they were not against the application of the defense, but notified the court that the defense has not yet filed its statement of defense to the Attorney General's statement of claim as amended. Defense lawyer Robertson Kpacha replied by saying that it was waiting for the Court of Appeal to rule on the application filed before they could file the statement of defense. Trial Judge Justice Barbara Kayensu said she could not adjourn the case sine die, but would rather adjourn it to 24th April for the defense to inform the courts the progress of the appeal. Sarah Ferreji, Metro News, Accra.
Let's stay with the judiciary, and the Legal Resource Center, with support from Star Ghana, has organized a stakeholders meeting with the aim of strengthening the judiciary to deal with human rights abuses ahead of the 2012 December polls.
Elections the world over attract significant attention to prevent disputes from emerging among disagreeing parties. Nonetheless, many of such disputes have occurred which end up at the courts, and Ghana has had its own fair share. To help strengthen the judiciary to deal with such cases, a law and human rights activist has made some proposals to the judiciary.
Now, currently, all electoral petitions ends up in the Court of Appeal, and this is not good enough because litigants would feel they haven't engaged the final court in the land, and this does not, in our view, augur well for effective redress of electoral, dispute. So to avoid this, we want to ensure that the Supreme Court presides even as the appellate court.
He called on the judiciary to set aside a special court to deal with electoral disputes.
Submission is that to really have the High Court play its role as the election court, as envisaged in the Constitution, then we should amend Article 48 and make the High Court exercise jurisdiction even over dispute arising from creation of constituency. This way, we would ensure that we build an effective legal system where our jurisprudence on electoral petitions will be well developed, even in the high court of the land.
Head of Political Science Department of the University of Ghana, Kwesi Jonah, had some concerns.
I disagree completely. It should be understood that as a very young democracy, we need to protect the democracy so that disputes about elections do not drag on and on and on through the court system until when the final judgment is given, then they are meaningless. No. We want a very expeditious adjudication.
Cyril Ferreji, Metro News, Accra.
Representatives of the various political parties and the clergy have pledged to maintain peace and promote violence-free elections come December. They made the pledge at the launch of the Plus Ghana project, spearheading efforts to mobilize the collective will and desire of maintaining peace, unity and stability in the country.
Politicians, chiefs, all residents, the Prince of Peace and the Holy One of Israel has promised.
The Plus Ghana project, which stands for peace, love, unity and stability, with a vision to accept the divine as an indispensable tool in promoting the philosophy of tolerance, not only as a culture, but as the bedrock for peaceful coexistence of Ghanaians. At the launch of the Plus Ghana project, the president of the Ghana Pentecostals and Charismatic Council stressed on the need for all to maintain peace in these elections.
The rationale is to facilitate a peaceful atmosphere in the run-up, during and after the presidential and parliamentary elections. In this program, we seek to collaborate with other Christian bodies and the other religious bodies, including the Office of the Chief Imam and the Ahmadiyya Mission, to maintain the peace we have in our dear country.
He also stressed that violence and deaths that occur during conflicts could be avoided if individuals would observe peace.
As faith-based organizations, we recognize it is part of our God-given mandate to lead our institutions and communities to stem the incidence of violence and mitigate the impact of such violence on individuals and communities.
Representatives of the various political parties and the clergy took turns to pledge their commitment to the project in maintaining peace in the upcoming election.
We want this country to survive, and therefore we will pledge that we will do everything within our power to ensure that this country does not go to pieces.
And I believe that all of you together will help our party and the party NDs and everybody to let peace come to Ghana.
And especially young people to be wise this year. When a politician asks you to go and carry, I don't know whether this year we use ballot boxes, whatever they will ask you to go and carry, whether biometric machines or whatever it is, ask them where are their sons and daughters. We want to call on our macho men to use their strength to farm instead of beating political opponents.
As imams who will go behind the scenes and take money, organize younger boys from Nima in places, snatch ballot boxes to make the election what we don't want it to become. As pastors who use the pulpit to preach hate and incite one another and prophesy in all manner of things that will not be in the interest of the nations.
Religious groups were, however, asked to disregard political groups who were members of their congregation and preaching against the Plus Ghana project. For Metro News, Hamdia Amadi Yakubus reports.
All right, so some good news to members of parliament, and we are getting an understanding that they will soon have a lot to smile about as contractors working on the Job 600 project has assured that their offices will be handed over to them by August this year. Minister for Water Resources, Works and Housing, E.T. Mensah, says his outfit has put in place the necessary funding to ensure that. He toured the facility on Tuesday.
The Job 600 edifice was constructed by the Dr. Kwame Nkrumah administration as part of preparations for the 1965 OAU, now African Union, conference. The project was later transformed to serve as offices for members of parliament, but has since become a white elephant, with successive governments unable to complete it. Delays were attributed to financial difficulties, theft of construction materials, and frequent variations in the technical details. The project, expected to cost $50 million, was originally scheduled to complete in November 2011, but it was shifted to November 2012. It is now about 70% complete.
It's an old building. You need to capture the essence of what is there to be able to add on. And there were no drawings that you could really use. The available drawings had some limited scope, so you had to do supplementary work. Sometimes the labor capacity is also an issue. For example, you go for Christmas break and you come back and only a quarter of your labor force is back on site. It takes time to build it up to another convincing level.
Enoch Mensah, Minister of Works and Housing, assured that the project will be finished by the end of August this year.
What is going to happen on this project is that by June ending, they'll finish with all the external works, remove all the scaffolding, and then July, August ending, this place will be ready for commissioning. So that is a roadmap that we have as far as the parliamentary offices or office for parliamentarians is concerned. And what I saw gave me hope.
When completed, the towering edifice will provide offices for members of parliament to solve the hydra-headed accommodation problem. For Metro News, Aya Somos reports.
All right, so let's now shift attention to the camp of the Progressive People's Party, the PPP, where the presidential candidate of the party, Dr. Papa Kwesi Indum, has described the performance of the NDC government as abysmal. According to Dr. Indum, massive failure of BEC candidates coupled with lack of opportunities for job creation sums up the performance of the NDC administration in the last 3 years.
The Progressive People's Party organized constituency congresses aimed at confirming Dr. Kwesi Indum as presidential candidate of the PPP across the country. In the Blakuma constituency, where one of such congresses was organized, Dr. Kwesi Indum told the people that the PPP has come to promote the welfare of all Ghanaians irrespective of their political background. According to Dr. Indum, both the NDC and MPP have failed Ghanaians and asked the masses to join his party.
You can't come and tell us that you have done something unprecedented in energy, and yet we are sleeping in darkness. You can't come and tell us that you've done something better than all the presidents in this country, and yet our factories are closed because there is no power.
He announced that he will use education as a form of tool for development to ensure that Ghanaians are better placed to take charge of the economy.
When the Progressive People's Party comes to power, and if there's a job to be given to somebody, if there's a contract to be given to somebody, if there's a position we need to place somebody in, we are not going to ask whether the person is a Dagomba or Fafra or a Ga or a Fanti. We will not ask that.
Dr. Kwesi Indum believes he's the best among all the candidates vying for the presidential slot in 2012. For Metro News, Samuel Anoba.
According to a 2012 Social Watch report, one of the challenges undermining sustainable development in Ghana is climate change. The report highlights that until this phenomenon is curbed, the right to a better and safe future is far from reality.
The Social Watch report 2012 was launched at a round-table discussion in Accra. Ghana's issues in the report focuses on climate change policy in the country and the extent of its accountability to principles of equality and environmental sustainability. The 2012 report highlights government's policies that have failed to articulate the issues of civil society due to pressure from bilateral and mutual funding requirements. Giving an overview of the Social Watch Report 2012, Program Director Abantu for Development, Dr. Rose Mensakutin, explained the use of Gender Equality Index and the Basic Capability Index indicators in its findings.
We say the resources are not available, but I think policies are about ideas, and policies actually improve livelihoods, especially the livelihoods of women and poorer sections of society. And so we can learn from countries like Mongolia, Rwanda, Nicaragua, which are not necessarily rich countries, but which have done very well along the indicators of gender equality.
The report states that although Ghana is committed to international conventions on climate change, there is an urgent need for policies to address gender needs and environmental sustainability.
The forest cover in this country between 1995 and 2005, we have lost so much, from about 32.5% to 24.2%, which doesn't say too well about how we are doing. So what that means is that we need to do something different in terms of how we preserve our environments.
Minister for Environment, Sherry Aite, reiterated the numerous problems facing the environment.
Exposure to hazardous chemical and pesticides, inadequate sanitation, poor hygiene, unsafe drinking water, and food, inadequate housing, all needs to be addressed to ensure the health and well-being of women and children. Once the bill on e-waste and hazardous chemicals is passed, it will, regulate, our EU, partners not to allow any ship with electronic materials to enter our waters.
Launching the Social Watch Report 2012, Shariaite called on civil society groups to continue to be the third eye of government to achieve sustainable development. Nakwali Kwoti, Metro News.
As part of government fulfillment of its campaign promise to eradicate schools under trees, the Central Regional Minister Ama Benyiwado has commissioned some school blocks at the Trifuhema Lower Denchira district. Nyamiyadum and Brokuso are deprived villages in the Trifuhema district of the Central Region, which are schools under trees. As part of the Regional Minister's tour of some villages, Ama Benyiwado has commissioned a 6-unit classroom block, a library and a toilet facility at the cost of 160,000 Ghana cedis at Nyamiyadum. Chief of Nyamiya Adom, Nana Kwame Opara, expressed his profound gratitude to the Minister and the DCE and also requested for some more developmental projects.
The school are dying. Yeja, Sempuntu Jumapa or Yempote Madi, Waboy Ye.
The Brokusu community also benefited from a 6-unit classroom block with an electrification project to be completed within a month. The Regional Minister also inspected a 2-story building with 8 dormitories and toilet facilities at the Heman Technical Senior High School, which is near completion. From the Central Region, this is a report by Cornelius Nati for Metro News. In other stories, the youth is being urged to be at the forefront of Ghana's socio-economic development to enable the country play a meaningful role on the international stage. They have also been charged to appreciate the efforts of their fellow colleagues aimed at moving forward in life. These were among the sentiments shared by KB Asante at the Youth Impact Ghana Awards to honor young and enterprising youth who are excelling in their fields of endeavor. The Youth Impact Ghana Awards YIGA is aimed at rewarding youth who have contributed their widow's mite in various fields towards some of life's pressing issues: education and academic excellence, entrepreneurship, agriculture, arts and culture, science and technology, media and development, among others, include awards up for grabs. Speaking at the event, author K.B. Asante charged the youth to be patriotic to advance the cause of the country.
I believe that it's never too late to do something for yourself, your immediate community, and your country. And Ghana needs everybody at this moment, especially the youth. As I think Mr. Osen said, the population is exploding. We are getting more youth pumped to the population. So everything is difficult.
Organizers of the event are hopeful of institutionalizing the event to boost the morale of the youth. Metro News spoke to some award recipients.
When I started this youth activity, I thought, what am I going to gain? Where am I going? But lo and behold, a time like this will come for me to be honored. And I think this is the time for me to run faster than the mind or the vision. But I ask myself, I believe I'm a visionary. And let Ghanaians and youth of this nation should, watch out for the peace building and conflict management this year, August 11th.
Entrepreneurship in Ghana is not necessarily an easy task. The environment provides extremely challenging conditions to us, but you feel very good to be rewarded because you think that at the end of the day it is crucial and it's beneficial after all to be entrepreneurial. My prayer is that a lot more people will be excited and will be prepared to take actions in favor of promoting indigenous capitalism.
The 2012 edition of the Youth Impact Ghana Awards is expected to be held next year. Ignatius Zano, Metro News, Accra.
Fellow Ghanaians, I'm Nana Akufo-Addo, presidential candidate of the NPP. We want to move Ghana forward. But we can't wait another 4 years without access to jobs, education, and prosperity. We need change now. A new voters register is being prepared, and everyone needs a new voter ID. I'm therefore asking each of you to register to vote. Your vote counts. Your voice matters. Together, we will put Ghana back on the road to prosperity. Please register. Thank you. May God bless you and our beloved Ghana.
Metro TV expands its national coverage in Ghana and welcomes Nkoko, Obuasi and Takwatua network.
It looks as if the Metro fever has caught up with residents of Nkoko and its surrounding environs.
I'm very, very happy to see Metro TV at Nkoko. Not only in Nkoko, in Praiso, Abitifi, Akropon and other areas that were deprived of Metro are now enjoying Metro TV.
So we've been trying to get you all the time, so your sports and all that. Fortunately, you've come.
My household, we have been watching Metro TV. It is clear the programs that they are offering, we like it.
Most people, we are lucky to have Metro TV. And I believe we will tune to Metro TV for their educative programs.
Program Metro TV
with this particular job you have done, the corporate also come on board, and I guess it's going to go very fine. We are all right with your programs, so we can look at your screen very clearly and see what is happening.
Metro being what it is and the name it has carved for itself is going to bring some newness into television in Takwa.
I am expert for Metro TV.
Metro TV, the only private TV station broadcasting nationwide in 16 metropolises across Ghana.
Hello again, you're welcome back to News at 1 on Metro TV. Just so you know, if you're watching us today from Hohoi in the Volta region and of course its environs as well, you're warmly welcome aboard the Metro television family, where we are promising you exciting television experience from entertainment, news, sports, and what have you. Let's do our very first business story now. And the Vice President, John Dramani Mahama, has reassured the government will safeguard the stability of the economy, even in the face of the upcoming election. He pledged a commitment with the outgoing Vice President of the International Financial Corporation called on him at the castle. Osu Samuel Anoba has the report.
The outgoing Vice President of the International Finance Corporation, Thierry Channel, was at the castle to announce his retirement to the Vice President. He commended Ghana for economic strides over the years, adding that Ghana is among 25 top fast-growing economies in the world. He, however, entreated the Vice President to use his office to ensure a thermal plant project started by the IFC in Accra is completed.
A country which made us proud in the institutions as African. Ghana moved from us from being among the top 25 countries in which we have invested to be today the second largest portfolio for us in sub-Saharan Africa. So we have about a total of $1.5 billion invested in Ghana today.
The Vice President John Dramani Mahama was appreciative of the level of cooperation between Ghana and IFC.
We are facing a few challenges, especially in an election year. People get a bit tense and sensitive, and so it does have its own effects on the economy. But the Economic Management Team and the Economic Advisory Council are keeping a close watch. We've held 2 meetings with the Ministry of Finance and the Central Bank, and we're hoping to take some measures to ensure that we keep things on track.
He, however, admitted that one of the challenges facing the economy is how to handle payments of arrears to free the private sector. The incoming World Bank Country Director, Josefa Crooks, was also introduced to the Vice President. Reporting from the castle, Samuel Anoba for Metro News.
A business quote is next. And still in business, leading foam manufacturer Latest Foam has added yet another laurel to its numerous awards in a high-profile award ceremony held in Geneva, Switzerland. The Platinum Award, dubbed the Century International Quality Era Award, is in recognition of the foam manufacturer's commitment to promote quality culture across all sectors of its production.
The Business Initiative Directions BID administered awards is conferred on distinguished companies whose exploits have and continue to positively impact on their employees, clients, and society. This year's award was endorsed by QC 100 Total Quality Management Model and implemented during the Quality Mix program in Geneva, Switzerland, in which local foam manufacturer Latex Foam Rubber Products picked the Platinum Award. The high-profile awards has raised the image of the local foam and rubber product manufacturer in the industry, a feat that projects Ghana as an enviable investment destination across Africa. Speaking exclusively to Metro News, the public relations managers of the company could not hide her satisfaction for the international recognition.
Last year we had the quality endorsement, and this year too, I guess the award challenged us to do more, and so we're here again with the Century International Quality Era.
She also touched on the significance of the award to the company.
We have already made it clear, not only in Ghana but even in the West African sub-region, that we shall be committed fully 100% to maintaining the quality standards of our products. So it means that when you buy anything from Latex Foam, you know that you're not just throwing away your money, you will definitely have the value for it.
She added that the company will not rest on its laurels, but sees the sky as a launch pad.
When you achieve another feat, it only opens up for more competition. So for us, once we win an award, the next day the competition gets tighter. And so we do not relent and relax in our attitudes and in our culture to produce the very best. So we shall continue to give out innovation. We shall continue to give practical products that are relevant to the market.
For the prize, Latex Foam received a heavy gold-plated trophy and a certificate. Management of Latex Foam hopes to deepen commitment to customer satisfaction and value for money to enable businesses consolidate and strengthen their position as a world leader in the production of foam and rubber products. Thompson Jaukumi for Metro News.
An investment tip is next.
Sponsored by Global Lighting Centre, your solution to quality lighting.
The Commonwealth African Investment Forum is underway in Accra to promote trade and create investment opportunities in the various sectors of the economy. The Vice President at the opening of the forum stressed that the continent has become a preferred destination for investment.
The Commonwealth Investment African Forum has over the years focused on mobilizing investment, promoting intra-African trade, strengthening corporate governance, and harnessing technology for development. World investors say Africa is the fastest growing economy, with boundless potential to be harnessed for sustainable development.
Interest in Africa from international investors is growing. The Western economies are showing some signs of recovery, but we can see that investors are looking for other markets. They want to achieve good returns as well as managing their risk, and want to invest where they know it will be secure but bring about good benefits for them.
Africa's economies are consistently growing faster than almost any other region in the world. Ghana's own growth has mirrored that of Africa, with 13% GDP growth last year, and with prospects for another strong growth in 2012.
The Vice President, John Mahama, stressed on the enormous economic impact with the promotion of public-private partnership projects, which are aimed at leveraging public assets.
Previous experience has provided a platform for bringing investors and projects together to explore public-private partnerships and facilitate business partnership, which can support the economic growth required to enable Africa achieve sustainable economic development.
The two-day conference will discuss agribusiness, small to medium-scale enterprises development, enhancing manufacturing industrial capacities, and harnessing the tourism industry. For Metro News, Nana Nkansa Ajekum's report.
In international news, United States and Afghan officials are close to signing a deal on the future of controversial night raids in Afghanistan, which have become a major hurdle in discussions between the two countries.
Afghan officials say the agreement will give Afghan security forces the lead role in the operations and provide Afghan judicial oversight. NATO footage on one of such raids, which was filmed in the Saribo district east of Kabul, shows family members looking shocked and frightened as their homes searched by soldiers and a man questioned. The deal is expected to help clear the way for a broader strategic partnership agreement that will govern the U.S. presence in Afghanistan once Afghan forces take full responsibility for security by the end of 2014. Afghan President Hamid Karzai, who has been pressing for an end to the night's raid, said some raids had violated Afghan sovereignty.
All right, so for the first time in this country, there's a new award category, and it is the Ghana DJ Awards, which was officially launched at the African Regent Hotel here in Accra. This time, all interested parties can apply.
This is the first ever DJs Awards to be held in Ghana, and will soon hit the screens of many television stations in the country. Earlier this year, the news about an award ceremony aimed at rewarding Ghanaian DJs was received with mixed feelings, but it appears the showbiz fraternity has embraced it now. It is however feared that it may just be one of such similar awards, which did not last its announcement. Organizers, however, seem bent on making the show a reality. Metro Entertainment News will keep you updated on further developments.
In our closing headlines, RICS Consult congratulates Metro TV for excellence in broadcasting and a great corporate relationship. Contractors working on the Job 600 project assure members of Parliament their offices will be ready by August this year. In business, experts bemoan the current level of intra-African trade, which they say is likely to build a strong ties between African countries. Butchers in Bogatanga say their 50-year-old abattoir can no longer serve their needs. And US and Afghan officials are on the verge of signing a deal on the future of the long-term relations between both countries. Alright, so that's it by way of Wednesday's edition of News at 1 live on your most authoritative news network, Metro Television. My name is Ignatius Ano. There's more news at 7:30 on Newsnight. At 6 o'clock, we have headline news. Have a good afternoon.
Hottest and most famous seat? Who will have the fastest fingers?
Richard! Richard! Hey! Hey! Hey!